And he said to me, hey, kid, I have to ask you this question. What is in the hat?
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said nothing. Nothing is in the hat. So he said, kid, let me ask you a question. I could do this trick two ways. I could do it the invisible way, or I can do it the visible way. So I said, well, it's a magic shop. I think I'd like to see it the invisible way. He said, great. And he produced a box like this. It's an empty box. And he closed it up, and he walked away from the hat. And he said, watch. I'm going to take the die, and we call it a die. For me, it was just a white box with little spots on it. We're going to take the die, and we're going to make it go into the box. It is now in the box, totally invisible. Now watch the next part, because we're going to make it go back into the hat invisibly. So I said, Mr. Flosso, I think I would prefer the visible way, please, the visible way. So he said, sure. And he took the die, and he places it right into the box. And he says, kid, what we'll do next is quite amazing, because I think you have a short memory. You're smart enough to know the hat is empty, but I don't think you really know where the die is. Could you tell me, where is the die?
It wasn't here.
It wasn't. That's it. You know, that's kind of what I said. And then he says to me, kid, I don't know what you're talking about. And he opens it up and he shows me that it's gone. I said, Mr. Flosso, I think it's on this side. It's on this side. Would you agree?
I would.
And then he said, hey, kid, I think your sneaker's untied. And he opened it up and he showed me it wasn't there. Now, I'm smart. I'm a 10-year-old kid. I know what's going on. I'm going to nail him. Mr. Flosso, open all 4 doors at the same time. So he goes like this. All right, kid, nothing in there. Nothing in there. I said, come on, Mr. Flosso, open all 4 doors at the same time in front of me, And so he says, okay, kid, I'll tell you what. We'll open all 4 doors in front of you. And nothing was in the box. Could you do me a favor? Could you go over to the hat, please? Yes, go over to the hat for a second, please. And reach in. And look what's there. The die was there. Now, that's the story of my trip to the magic shop. But the ending is really interesting because it affected me in 2 ways. This trick changed my life, and I'll tell you why. You see, what happened next was Mr. Flosso took a box just like this, the die box, and he put it down on the counter, like that, on a brown piece of paper, and he wrapped it up, and he handed it to me. And this became my first stage prop, which propelled me into kind of a second to my career in advertising and marketing, a career in magic. But it did something even more important. It taught me a lesson that I have been able to use my entire life, apply it to the clients that I work with, generate success, generate new sales. And I'll tell you what it's about. You see, Mr. Flosso understood that magic is about assumptions, And what he began to do is he knew that I would assume when he places the die in the box, that the die is in the box. We would all assume that. And that when he turned it, and you heard the click, right, that little clunk, right, and I showed the side empty, that it went from one side to the other side. And he knew, because I was a 10-year-old kid, that he knew that I would assume, because I caught him in the act, that I would ask him to open all the doors at the same time. You see, what Al Flosso understood, and what really I think magic is all about, is magic is the understanding of human behavior and the assumptions that we make. And it's crucial that the magician, in understanding those assumptions, what he does is he uses those assumptions, he gets you to follow particular assumptions, which lead you away from the secret of the trick, which is what we call misdirection. But I contend that business is no different. You see, in business, because we are, particularly in today's age, with technology the way it is, the way it's creating more and more competition, because we have less time and we have to do more, because our budgets get cut, but we have to produce twice as much. We are under constant pressure to produce new ideas and new solutions. And so what we do is we begin to treat those things, we begin to use our assumptions to deal with it, to come up with those solutions. But the problem is we begin to treat our assumptions, because we rely more and more on them, we begin to treat them as a set of truths rather than a set of beliefs.